What's up everyone, and welcome back to another What If video. Last time, we began with the Android saga as Future Gohan and Trunks returned from their time to go to the present timeline. Needless to say, they were shocked to see what has been going on. There's different androids here that fought the Z-Fighters, plus it's not just Android 17 and 18 anymore, there's a third one, stronger, who's Android 16 obviously, and now they're faced with a brand new challenge. The two of them have to try and find a way to work around this turn of events, and they need to figure out something with the Z-Fighters to do so. The plan in their timeline might have worked, but it's not really going to go too well here. So what can actually be done? Let's start off from here. So this next part goes kinda like normal at first. After hearing what's happening in Gingertown, Piccolo and Kami merge as Piccolo heads over there to check it out. He ends up meeting Cell, and not too much changes here. Cell reveals who he is, and then suddenly, everyone else starts to show up out of nowhere and is about to take him out. Future Trunks arrives with Krillin, and then Cell tries to escape. Really? Another android? What even is this guy? I said Cell tries to escape for a reason. He attempts it, but it's not successful. As he tries escaping, Future Gohan shows up first, followed by Vegeta and Tien. They all run into Cell, and Cell is pretty much screwed here. They didn't know who this guy is, but they're understandably freaked out by how he looks. And they notice he looks scared, and it's probably for a good reason. Piccolo, Trunks, and Krillin shout out for all three of them to kill Cell, and that he's an android too, so they don't even hesitate. Gohan especially doesn't hesitate. He doesn't want another android to deal with. Cell's last words are quite poetic, and he only says two words. Oh shit! My imperfect Cell impression sounds kinda demonic in a way, but I'll keep it in. Before he knows it, he's turned into dust by Gohan, Vegeta, and Tien. Keep in mind, Cell hasn't absorbed enough humans yet to be strong enough to survive something like this and surpass the androids, so yeah, he's pretty much boned here. Gohan and Trunks are relieved. They really didn't want to deal with another android, but they didn't realize how big of a threat Cell truly was. Having Gohan there with him arriving at a different time than the others ended up working well, since it distracted Cell and it allowed everyone to stop him instead of Cell escaping. They just prevented one of the strongest villains they'd ever see from ever existing, and they didn't even know what they did. Piccolo catches everyone up to speed, and the group realizes that it was a good idea to kill Cell, and they probably just prevented a lot of unneeded chaos on top of what they're already dealing with. Wait, so this Cell is from another timeline, right? That means there's one here too, as well as Future Trunks and Gohan's timeline, correct? Not only is there more androids to deal with, but now they have to deal with more timeline stuff, and it's getting kinda confusing for them. Just to be safe, Trunks, Gohan, and Krillin head for Gero's lab to see if that's the case, and unsurprisingly, it is. There's another Cell here, although he's still being produced, or whatever. I guess that's the best word to describe it. They destroy Cell, but while in the lab, they're able to find some interesting things. Blueprints. This is huge. With these blueprints for the androids, maybe they could find a weak spot or something and destroy them somehow. This would have been so much easier for Trunks and Gohan to do in their timeline. But at least they know it here so they could do it right away. They bring all the info and blueprints to Bulma, and she begins getting to work on it. Around the same time, another stroke of luck occurs. Goku has finally woken from the heart virus, and he's pretty much okay again. It seems like everyone's luck is turning around now. While Bulma works on those plans and tries to make some sort of way to self-destruct the androids, Goku decides that they maybe should try and train to fight the androids. He's gonna try and surpass Super Saiyan, and he has the perfect idea in order to do so. He instant transmissions to everyone and decides that he's gonna bring them to the Room of Spirit and Time to train. He brings 4 others along with him, Vegeta, Trunks, and the 2 Gohans. Due to him needing to convince the Vegeta like normal, Vegeta and Trunks head in first and work on surpassing Super Saiyan. Goku is also kinda torn on what to do. He could head in next with Gohan or Future Gohan, or maybe just have the 2 Gohans going together by themselves. Wait, he has a better idea. The Room of Spirit and Time only has enough food for 2 people for a year, but they could bring 3 people in, and instead of a year, they could train for 8 months in order to work around the food issue. It might actually be better this way, because having 3 people training will be more effective than 2, and no one will be left behind. So even if they have less time to train, they have more effective training, so it kinda evens out. Problem solved. Meanwhile, the androids arrive at Kame House, and this encounter begins pretty normally, with 17 and Piccolo heading off to some deserted island in order to fight. This time though, they remain uninterrupted. There's no Cell anymore, so the 2 of them begin their battle to the death. Krillin goes off to Bulma to get the remote, and Piccolo continues his fight with 17. 17 is advantaged though. Due to having infinite stamina, and after the fight goes on for some time, he's able to gain the upper hand against Piccolo. But this upper hand doesn't last that long. He hears someone yell at him, and he looks up to see Tien way above in the air. Not wanting to stand around any longer and watch, Tien's gonna intervene now. He launches a tri-beam that completely immobilizes 17, and he gives Piccolo an opportunity by doing this. Placing 2 fingers on his forehead, Piccolo's ki soars and he begins to charge a special beam cannon, and before 16 or 18 can even intervene, it's too late. Immobilized and injured by Tien, 17 can't run, and then he suddenly feels a burning pain in his chest. A brilliant beam of energy pierces through the young android's torso, bursting through the concurrent burning energy of the tri-beam and creating a spectacular light show as it flies off into the atmosphere. 17's expression turns into one of fear as he coughs up blood with his last breath and falls to the ground dead, with a gaping hole in his chest. The tri-beam seizes as Piccolo falls down on one knee, with Tien collapsing towards the ground as well in exhaustion. Tien is pretty drained, as is Piccolo, but the two of them watch as the dust settles and they see the android laying there motionless. Piccolo gives off a weak smirk and thanks Tien. They were actually able to kill 17. The two are actually somewhat okay this time, and aren't near death like they were originally. Yamcha's obviously there too, and he heads over to help the two up. 18 is both angry and fearful with her brother now dead, and 16 is now preparing to fight. It doesn't look good at all, but they assume a battle stance. However, help arrives. Goku instant transmissions in and sees what happened. 17 is dead, with 16 and 18 about to attack Piccolo, Tien, and Yamcha. Goku could try and fight now, but with both 16 and 18 out for blood right now, it's too risky. He says he'll be back, and leaves with his friends, who are in much better condition than they were originally, and they return to the lookout. Now, they just gotta wait for Vegeta and Trunks to exit. Vegeta and Trunks end up leaving the room pretty much around where they were before in terms of power, except for Trunks being about even with Vegeta this time instead of a little weaker, since he was stronger beforehand. The two of them go off to find 18 and 16, which lets Goku and the two Gohans head in. This training experience should be fun. Future Gohan, knowing himself better than anyone, will be able to help Gohan achieve Super Saiyan much more efficiently, and with Goku there, both of his sons, or both versions of his son I guess, will learn to go beyond Super Saiyan alongside him. And it's also good in terms of bonding. Goku doesn't need to divide his attention for one son since both are there, and both of them do want to have some sort of bonding with him. As for the two Gohans, present Gohan begins looking up to his future self, kinda like an older brother, and they obviously get along very well because they're pretty much the same person after all. Well, they are the same person biologically, and also their personalities pretty much line up. Gohan is able to access Super Saiyan much earlier on with the help of Goku and his future self, and the three of them all work towards surpassing it together. Meanwhile, on the outside, Vegeta and Trunks are making their own progress and are beginning to track down 16 and 18. They eventually do end up finding the two of them. 18 was busy slaughtering people to draw out Goku and everyone, as well as venting her frustrations on all these civilians. 16 doesn't participate in the massacre, but he is present. This should be fun for Vegeta. Krillin has the remote and is trying to find them as well, not knowing Vegeta and Trunks are there, but then he senses their ki and heads to them. Considering Super Vegeta was able to give Semi-Perfect Cell a hard time, yeah, it's not going to really go well for the two androids. Vegeta faces 18, ready for revenge, while Trunks faces 16. Both the androids are pissed off and ready for a fight. Even 16 throws aside his pacifist nature to avenge his so-called brother. With an amazing display of power, Vegeta buffs up and powers up to his new Super Vegeta form, aka Super Saiyan Grade 2 to get more technical. 18 doesn't really care. Vegeta can't be much stronger than before, he just buffed his muscles up a little bit. She ends up realizing how wrong she was. Vegeta demolishes her in a fight, and she underestimates Vegeta due to their fight before. Vegeta gets bored pretty quickly, and seeing how strong he is now, he decides to finish her off. With 18 beaten up and unable to fight back, Vegeta wants to end it. Cupping his hands in front of him and gathering energy, Vegeta charges a final flash, a new technique that he wants to show off. 18 watches in awe and fear as she sees this giant beam of light coming towards her, consuming her field of view and eventually engulfing her as well. With an over-the-top finish, the final flash completely erodes the terrain and it surrounds the android. In her last moments, 18 is overcome with fear and regret. Regret for her not being able to avenge her brother. The beam disintegrates her, and another android has been erased from this existence. It's a little sad really. These two could have been redeemed potentially, but the Z-Fighters never got the chance to see their good side and potentially turn them into better people. Due to the circumstances, it really had to end like this. Had 17 not been killed, who knows, this may have gone very differently. 16 is the sole android remaining, and is up against Trunks. This is it. The androids are finally going to be dealt with, and the two Hybrid Saiyans can return to their home after saving this timeline. Trunks makes it quick. He'd normally do this with a sword, but now that he's in his Saiyan armor and without his sheath, and having trained with Vegeta, he takes a different approach. He powers up to Super Saiyan Grade 2, or what he calls Super Trunks, and begins his duel with 16. 16 puts up a much better fight than 18, but it's not enough. Slowly, 16 deteriorates over the fight, his mechanical body unable to keep up with such harsh conditions. While the other two androids were human, Trunks has no qualms about killing this guy at all, since he's fully artificial, not to mention the fact that he's an enemy right now. Trunks prepares a Masenko, destroying 16 entirely as he explodes into pieces. "I'm impressed, Trunks, really. As expected of the son of the prince." Vegeta and Trunks are content, having succeeded in their goal. The androids are defeated now. They return to the lookout, and after some time, Goku and the two Gohans exit in their Super Saiyan form, excited to show everyone what they've accomplished. Wait, what? The androids are dead already? Oh, well, I guess they can't show off this new form of Super Saiyan then, huh? Well, at least they got the training, I guess? I mean, yeah, they could use it in the future, but kinda saddening now that they know that they can't really use it yet. With the androids defeated, Gohan and Trunks have completed their mission and helped save this timeline, although it didn't reverse the damage in their own. On the bright side, they're a lot stronger. Trunks has Super Saiyan Grade 3, even though it's kinda useless and he uses Grade 2, while Gohan has Super Saiyan Grade 4. They thank everyone for their help, as well as being thanked in return. With the celebration and a feast, the two say their goodbyes. Gohan spent some time with Goku and Chi-Chi in these last few days, not having seen Goku in a while, and of course, present Chi-Chi wants to see this other Gohan as well. And yeah, future Gohan and present Gohan both hang out together here too, glad to have crossed paths. Trunks, on the other hand, is glad to have seen Vegeta, and also the past version of his mother, and I guess his baby self. Not as cool as Gohan getting to bond with his past self, but hey, it's something at least. He can't really bond with a baby though. Anyways, the two of them say their farewells as they head into the time machine and go back to their time. Oh yeah, and they kill Cell in their timeline before he even comes about. They're not going to wait around and they don't really want to deal with it. So they decide to track down the lab with the help from Bulma, and they end up doing that, and they can kill Cell before he's even born. So, what now? Well, the timeline is split here, and I could cover either the future one or the past one. But this is about Future Gohan and Future Trunks, so I'm going to stick to covering their timeline in the future Buu saga and whatever comes afterwards. As for the present timeline, or the main one, I can cover that once I finish covering the future Gohan and Trunks timeline if you guys truly want that. But I'm sure I'm going to briefly cover it sometime in the future if they cross paths again. I'm going to save that for another time, and I'll go into the future timeline's Buu saga in the next episode. This is where we'll end off for now. With this new training under their belt, how will this help Gohan and Trunks in the future? What do you guys think will happen in the Buu saga once it happens in this timeline? Or will it just play out similar to how we saw it in Dragon Ball Super? Leave your thoughts and suggestions below, and I'll be sure to take them into account. As always, if you liked the video, be sure to drop a like, and subscribe if you haven't already, as well as hitting the bell icon for notifications about future parts of this What If, or any other videos I make on my channel. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you on my next video.